With Persona 3 Reload just around the corner, I felt like now was finally the time to make a video covering all the different re-releases that the Persona 3 franchise has gotten. Persona 3 has been the game to get the most re-releases in Atlus's catalog, with the very first Persona 3 release coming out in March 2006. Persona 3 originally began development in 2003, with details about the game being released in Japan in 2006. The person chosen to be the lead director of the game would be Katsura Hashino, who wrote out in a Japanese article leading up to the release of the game saying, "I think it's more fun to have the party members controlled by their AI, so each member's characteristics and personality are on vivid display." No objections were raised among the Persona 3 development team either. While new for the franchise at the time, this addition to the game would not be positively received by fans of the game and would actually be changed in the release of Persona 3 Portable, which I'll discuss more later. The person chosen to be the main character artist of the game was Shigenori Sojima. He was handed the reins by the previous Persona title's character artist, Kazuma Kaneko, who was famous for his art for the mainline SMT series. The original soundtrack for Persona 3 was composed by Shoji Meguro. This iconic soundtrack resulted from Meguro finally having a chance to realize his music fully in video games. His song featured a variety of different songs using high vocals.
Art, I don't want to alarm you, but
And one of the tracks that I'm sure you've heard of before, Burn My Dread, was originally supposed to be a prototype, but the reception to the song was so positive that it remained in the game. Shoji Meguro is iconic to the Persona franchise as he continued working on music for Persona 4 and 5. He still works with Atlus to this day. After 3 years of development, Japanese fans got to experience the game first in 2006, with a generally positive reception from fans. However, American fans had to wait a little longer, as they could not play the game until August 2007 due to issues relating to manufacturing art books for the game's collector edition. Less than a year after the original Persona 3 release in Japan, fans got to experience the release of Persona 3 FES in 2007. This version came as an add-on disc for Japanese fans that they would use alongside the original Persona 3 disc. But for American audiences, the two would be combined, simply being named Persona 3 FES in 2008. Persona 3 FES came with various changes, such as featuring an entire epilogue titled The Answer. FES gave some closure to the original ending of Persona 3, where players could play as the character Aigis for the entire Answer segment. Of course, there was also a new character designed by Sojima called Metis that was unique to the Answer. New music was also added that was composed by Meguro, who returned for FES. Persona 3 FES would later be ported to the PlayStation 3 in 2012. After Persona 3 FES, there was a release of a title that many are fans of, Persona 3 Portable was originally made for the PSP, with countless changes/additions made to the game. While there is no longer the real-time 3D navigation of the world as seen in previous versions of the game, with cutscenes being more visual novel-esque, there are now additional gameplay options and the ability to play as a female version of the main character. Now, players were allowed to control their party members in combat, which was a massive improvement to quality of life. Additionally, the game featured multiple new social links that the player could engage in as they played as a female main character, with the Velvet Room assistant changing to the new character Theodore, if the player picked the Femcy. Portable features 10 new music tracks made for the game composed by Shoji Meguro. Most of those new tracks were made to play when the character plays as the female protagonist. Persona 3 Portable even features a couple of cameos from different Atlus games, with Yukiko from Persona 4 making an appearance and Vincent Brooks from Catherine. Persona 3 Portable did not feature any of the content from The Answer, and only contained their journey. Persona 3 Portable would be released for the PSP in Japan in 2009, with American fans receiving the game in 2010. Persona 3 Portable surprisingly got a re-release in 2023 for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series X/S.
It's the good memories that stay with you and gets people through their struggles. But it's also the mistakes you made that haunt you forever. I'm the one who chose to join you back then. I didn't know what I was capable of. That's all there is to it. I gotta use what time I have left to set things straight. I don't have the luxury of doing anything else.
And now, in 2024, we have the release of Persona 3 Reload. This game is a complete remake of the original game, with nearly every single part of the game being remade in some way or form. Persona 3 Reload began development in 2019, when most of the staff working on Persona 5 Royal had been shifted to Reload. The game is fully powered by Unreal 4, which is a shift compared to previous Atlus games that used their own proprietary engine. Hopefully that gave you a brief idea of the Persona 3 games that came before Reload, and I'm personally looking forward to playing Reload myself. If you liked the video, please feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!